The following program contains computer simulations which depict violent events. Parental discretion is advised.
It's the tape everyone is talking about, our recreation of the Simpson-Goldman murder. Go behind the scenes to see how it was made.
So the medical evidence is literally the most important to establishing the scenario of the crime. We believe this to be the most detailed reconstruction done to date.
And confused about the internet? You won't be after today. Get ready for the ultimate tour of the net and see for yourself just what it can do for you. Hi, I'm Gina St. John.
And I'm Richard Hart. All that plus the world's tiniest radio, next on CNET Central.
This is CNET Central.
Welcome back to CNET Central, our new home in San Francisco, just overflowing with the latest in digital products and services. And it's a place we hope you'll come to often for more about life in this computer age.
Okay, let's get started. Have you seen it yet? Our computer recreation of the murders in the O.J. Simpson trial. We aired it last week for the very first time, the most scientifically detailed recreation yet of how Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman may have been killed. Television programs around the world have now aired it as a stunning example of the power of computers to help us visualize complex events.
Today, a follow-up, an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at how our army of criminal investigators, actors, photographers, attorneys, artists, and computer technicians created the videotape seen round the world. The standard of forensic animation was raised to a new level last week with the introduction of this startling animation. A product of computer graphics and scientific conjecture, it was commissioned by CNET and created by one of the world's foremost authorities on disaster recreations.
As a result of this animation tool, I'm able to take you back to that street, that condo, that gate, that night, and you can watch those people.
With painstaking attention to detail, the engineers from Failure Analysis reconstructed the murder, using scientific measurements of the scene, medical examiners' reports, and court testimony from investigators and forensics experts.
There is only one scenario that will explain all the physical evidence. Only one, the correct one. So the more ways that you can constrain your analysis by physical evidence, the more likely the final analysis will be close to or identical to what really happened.
The animation of the murders of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman is dramatic, even disturbing. But more important, say the engineers at Failure Analysis, it is highly accurate.
The geometry of the scene, combined with the medical evidence, combined with the position of the bodies afterwards, very much constrained, fortunately, the sequence things had to be done. But the exact sequence also had to make sense in terms of a reality check. We know, for instance, that no one got off a sound. These murders only occurred 15, 20 feet from the sidewalk. No one heard anything. So the choreography of the characters must be such that at every point in time, the assailant has control of the mouth of the victim that he's assaulting.
Even the choice of skin color made by Failure's engineers was determined by the evidence.
The hat is found with, I believe the number is 26 African-American hairs in it. There doesn't seem to be any contrary testimony or even dispute over the hat as belonging to the assailant. So we merely followed the physical evidence of the scene.
Now this is a new kind of animation. You already know that it's possible for an artist to sit down in front of a computer and use it as a tool to create what is essentially a cartoon. It's an estimation of a dinosaur for a movie or an estimation of what happened during a crime. This is different. Here we're actually feeding a computer real numbers, evidence if you will, and having the computer calculate an accurate portrayal of exactly what happened. That's what's going on here. A major difference that sets forensic animation apart from other types is the amount of data required to create it. The first step for the investigators at Failure Analysis was research. They had to collect every available piece of information connected to the criminal investigation of the murders.
That involves obtaining transcripts from the preliminary hearing, videotape that has been shown by the media, and transcripts that are coming from the current trial. And bringing all this information together, we sent a group of people down to Los Angeles. Actually, I led that team down to Los Angeles, and that included engineers, photographers, and one of our animators. And we went onto the site in Los Angeles, and then we were able to obtain a lot more information about the site.
What we're going to do is use the photographs taken by this camera, which is a metric camera, to go back and reconstruct very accurately the three-dimensional geometry of this particular building.
Now, the third stage would be bringing together the information from the first and second stages and coming up with a plausible scenario. And then we would bring people together and brainstorm about what possibly happened on June the 12th. The storyboards was to help us, our animators and our technical people, pull together some ideas and prepare ourselves for the shoot we did at Vision on Saturday and Sunday.
I got to inflict a lot of cuts on this guy.
This involved a lot of role-playing by Dr. McCarthy playing the assailant, Sally Shepard playing the role of Nicole Brown Simpson, and myself as Ron Goldman.
I'm going to have to cut his cheek several times as I'm torturing him and talking to him.
Using the data they've collected, the Failure engineers then created a chilling script for their scenario of the murders.
It looks like what he did is he has to use the knife to pry her head up once and then get a different bite with the back of the knife on the back of her head, and literally he picks her up with the knife to the back of the head, covering her mouth.
In order to make their animation characters move more lifelike, the Failure team relied on the experts at Vision, who have perfected motion capture technology.
These markers, each of the segments of the model and the computer are driven by these marker points. Our machines out here will calculate 3D points for each of these markers, so I'm finding all of our joint centers.
6 high-speed cameras follow the movements of each actor, while a variety of PCs and workstations record the data.
Okay, go back to the center. Half step back.
What BioVision allows you to do is capture the movements of organic people and then readily translate those movements to the motions of a artificial mathematical character who has limbs that can be moved by the computer as long as you know how to tell the computer to move them. I'm going to pick her up, step down for my strength. She is now awake. We look over here. Bring my hand in front, we have a conversation while I nick her throat.
Mechanical engineer Sally Shepard played Nicole Brown Simpson in the reenactment. She says the taping session sometimes felt a little eerie.
It's an unusual situation to be put in, but it's not uncommon at Failure for us to sort of play the role of accident victims if you happen to be the right size for the incident. So it's a little bit weird, though. This is a little out of the ordinary.
Now it's up to computer animation engineer Jerry Jackson. One computer wasn't enough to calculate all the information necessary. Jackson used 5 Silicon Graphics Unix workstations and 7 different processors. Also, he relied on an SGI reality engine and animation software called Advanced Visualizer to create this first-of-its-kind animation. From photographs and architectural drawings, slowly Nicole Brown Simpson's condominium takes shape. Working from photos of the victims, the animators also put real faces on the characters. The final step is movement. Using the data from BioVision, the characters move with human precision. Through cutting-edge technology and diligent investigative work, Failure Analysis can show us what probably happened the night of June 12 in Brentwood.
We believe this to be the most detailed reconstruction done to date. We hope it remains the standard by which all other reconstructions are judged by, even the prosecutions.
In all, an amazing process. And if you have a personal computer, a modem, and a connection to the internet, you can get your own copy of this animation. Just go online and head for CNET.com. That's our internet address. And then you can download or transfer the animation from our computers to yours.
If any of this is confusing to you.
And why would any of this be confusing?
Oh, it can. Just stick with CNET Central, though. We're here to help you out.